What's going on, nation? Time for us to talk about yet another album review from the band Stam1na. Wait, doesn't this seem like it would be a debut, something that we've done for the very first time? Well, no, actually, it's not. And here's why. It's going to come in the form of the band Stam1na with their album Nocebo, or as I like to say it, Nocebo, because whenever I look at it, it reminds me of placebo. And I'm not sure what the band was going for. I'm pretty sure it's something that's native to their Finnish tongue, because this is a Finnish outfit. However, pronunciations aside, let's talk about it. So yeah, this isn't the first time we've talked about this band, as that clip has shown. We are here to talk about their 2014 album, SLK. Now, Stam1na, for those who perhaps don't realize or are not aware, are a band from Finland. This can be made blindingly obvious by the fact that all of their lyrics are sung in Finnish. And that is proven once again on this album. They have been very successful over in their home country with their last couple of albums, jumping right to #1, beating the likes of fellow countrymen, him, and other bands like that. So they've been receiving a lot of attention. Many people have wondered why they have the 1 in their name. This is actually something that is kind of an idea that aids in searching. That way they are it's a band that stands out. It's a name that stands out, considering there is a number in there where the I would be. So it's kind of a cool idea. Very, very ingenious idea, I must say. So definitely have to give them props on name alone. Now, this new album is 11 tracks. It's got a runtime of a little less than 50 minutes. And once again, we're seeing that this band is able to really blend a lot of different ideas very, very well. And this is something that their career has kind of been... they've been making a name for themselves doing such within their career. They've been able to blend thrash metal. They've been able to throw in a little bit of death metal in there, here and there. Progressive metal is certainly something that they have also really been able to throw in there on a musical front, and even in some vocal lines. And some people would even say that there's a touch of and a hint of alternative in these guys, perhaps in the way in which it seems as though it kind of gears toward that market. Though for the most part, I'm really sticking to my guns and saying these guys are just a good old-fashioned metal band. This is a metal band that you want to be into, especially from the Finland region. They definitely have a lot to offer, and this album is no exception. Now, granted, you're not going to be able to really do much with the lyrics here unless you're from the country or understand Finnish, and if you do, then this experience really is totally complete for you. For me, personally, it still is, principally because tonally and vocally, this is a very strong album. It's one that certainly showcases the wide range of talent that their singer possesses, and they have a lot of different things that they can offer. There is just a great, clean voice that's used for the more progressive harmonies. There is a tremendous death growl, something that, it's not necessarily going to leave a legendary mark perhaps on the scene, but this is one that has enough of a singular tone and enough of a really a standout tone to it that you can definitely tell that this is Stam1na. That it's a Stam1na track. It's one thing where whenever you hear everything kind of come together on these songs, they become a band that is very, very easily differentiated from the rest of them out there. So there's a lot of positives coming into this album for the band. Now, the music itself definitely is able to further that blend a little bit. You can hear songs that have almost like a mellow death to just a straight-up thrash metal approach that quickly are able to move on to a more progressive structure, something that really resembles more of a progressive band. Some of the structures remind me of a band that perhaps a couple of you have heard of named Cloudscape. They definitely have a little bit of a feel to it during these progressive stripes, and I definitely dig that about this band, because Cloudscape, I think, is really underrated. They're more of a power prog group, but I definitely like what they're able to bring to the table. Also, I really enjoy the fact that Stam1na has been able to be so successful in their home country with a style of music that, yes, in Europe definitely has a lot more legs than it does in America, but man, would I love to see these guys have a breakout year in 2014 here in America and really gain a substantial fan base across the pond. But of course, America's dumb and will no doubt have about 700 people purchase this album if it were to come out over here. And then the day that the next Rihanna album comes out, she'll sell 700 albums in the first 10 minutes of it being, out, which is dumb. But we're not here to talk about who's selling and who's not selling, and Why America's retarded. Hell no, we're here to talk about how Stam1na and these 11 tracks has continued to further evolve their sound and continue to showcase why. There are groups out there that you and I may have heard of because we really dig deep as music fans, and I'm going to just address the idea of being a music fan very, very shortly in another video, but why it is that some of the best music that we're able to find and some of the more underappreciated music that we're able to find is really right out in front of our noses. And Stam1na is one of these unsung heroes, one of these treasures that those individuals that are bold enough to maybe give them a shot, either that or those who are able to somehow find them through a referral perhaps from a friend of a friend, either that or just, you know, accidentally making a mistake while typing, are going to actually find a very, very good band. And they're going to see and really notice just the difference between what Europe, and especially in this case Finland, really considers to be a fantastic chart-topping band, as opposed to here in America, where the landscape is definitely very, very different. Now, as far as scoring is concerned for this album, I really have to praise the blend. I really have to praise this band's ability to really change it up. This is an album that's not necessarily unilateral. It's not something that stays on one plane and then doesn't exactly diversify very much. This is one where the diversification happens within tracks, and this isn't between the Bury to Me style diversification, but then again, not every band needs to do that in order for an album to be great. They're able to make subtle changes to their sound. They're able to incorporate and showcase each and every one of their hats with the entirety of this album, and that is something that causes this to be a album that gets a fairly decent score. This is an 82 out of 100. I gotta say, once again, Stam1na has shown why they are a treasure, kind of an unsung hero, kind of a group that really needs to get some wider exposure, and a band that I would really love to see here in America. I'd really love to see them perform. I know that America is not exactly the best place for a metal band to tour in the year 2014. It's definitely not the premier landscape. It's not the premier place to go. However, it is something where this space, if they were to be exposed to the group and really get them in a big way, man, oh man, I really think that it would help their exposure tenfold. Not to mention, I think they would gain a plethora of real dedicated fans, because those who actually really dig this music here across the pond in the States are very, very fierce about it. They talk about it a good bit, and they tend to really latch on. So it definitely has a real wide appeal, and it's something that if you guys haven't heard of this group, if you guys haven't heard of Stam1na, I definitely highly recommend it. I definitely highly recommend giving them a search, giving them a listen, and also giving them a review. Give them that exposure. And for those of you who have already listened to this album, for those of you who knew about this before I did this review, blah, 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 let us know what your thoughts are on this band. Have you been following this band for a while, or was this your first foray into Stam1na? What is some of your favorite tracks? What are some of your favorite albums? Is this a group that you really think has the capability of being a really big force in the American metal market? Let us know in the comments, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Later.